do you start these things, right? Like,
One, two, three. Good morning, YouTube.
yeah. So sounds good. What Bill said. I'll just start it there. So we. Hi everyone. So there's a big tournament going on. The first of, I believe, the very first of the officially hosted tournaments by the dev team of Chrono. I am joined here today by two lovely people to talk about this. Decks we expect to see, powerful color pairings, the tournament rules, and all of that. Do you two want to introduce yourselves?
Sure, let's go top down. I'm Bill Nye, the Chrono Guy, amateur player that has way too much free time on his radar, and I put out a lot of content under Bill Nye, the Chrono Guy.
Yeah, and I'm Crazykillinit, community, I don't, guy, I guess, content creator. If you guys know
He's
me in the
just a
Discord,
regular guy.
yeah, everything Chrono is, I'm all about it.
They have cool YouTube channels and two cool Twitch streams. I'll link that in the chat. You can check them out. Bill's million hours of content and Crazy's carefully curated video a week or something like
We
that.
kind of hit
about right.
we hit both sides of the metric. I do 2 videos a day. He does 2 videos a week. So I've got those short form slop trash for you to consume, and he's got those deep analysis long form videos.
Yeah.
Kinda.
So the actual tournament's called the Chrono Beta Grand Prix. I've got the whole thing up here, but it's basically a tournament that their plan is to do this at the last weekend of every month. And Saturdays are going to be the Swiss rounds, 6 rounds of Swiss. And then those that win enough games, you probably will have to go like 5-1 or something, or 6-0 to qualify, but you'll go into top 16 on Sunday. Each round is limited to an hour. If the hour ends and you're both in game, you're still in game one, God forbid. The match is a draw. Get during game two, the winner of game one wins the match, and during game three, meaning you're both 1-1 at that point, the match is a draw as well. So that's a bit of a thing to think about with the decks being brought.
Yeah. So I'm
Uh,
gonna say this to the community, and you can take it or leave it as a hot take, but I do not want to be your friend if you decide to play towards getting to timer to guarantee your win. I think you should play to win the match honestly and fairly, and that's my hot take.
Wait, for the so Swiss, you guys want to explain that a little bit, just for those that like this is the first tournament. What is Swiss as they're going into it? I'm not quite like I know about it, but I'm not exactly sure. Like if you guys probably explain it a little bit better for those out there.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of tournaments for card games, and basically it's just first round's going to be completely random pairings. Then next round it will be to the best of the tournament's ability. It will be people who won game one or round one will pair up against each other and keep going up. But if you lose a match, you're not out. You just will go up against someone who is also like 2-1.
Gotcha. Okay, so in order to
Yeah.
progress to day two, you're saying you have to be at least probably 5-1. You're saying?
Or better.
Yeah, 5-1-6-0. That's probably you might be able to get away with being like 4-1-1, meaning 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. Um, or maybe 4 and 2 draws. I'm not
Okay.
sure how that math is going to work out, but at that point you're probably getting down to tiebreakers.
Right. And then for the scoring, so like say I go against you, for instance, we're doing a best of three, right? And then if I won one, you won one, and then I win the last one, that counts it. So I'm 1-0, right? Going into the next round because I won that round.
Yeah.
Yep. You're 1-0. And in the odd situation, let's say there's more than 32 players that went 6-0. Let's say there's more than 32 players that went 6-0. So they need to get a top 32. people that got 2-0 instead of 2-1 are going to get the position before the people that got
Right.
2-1. So getting 2-0 still gives you a higher position in a tiebreak situation of getting into top 32, which is what happens on Sunday.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this doesn't list. I don't think this lists all the tiebreakers. But you know, hopefully it doesn't come down to too many people getting cut due to tiebreakers, because that never feels good for the people not making it to top 16.
Yeah,
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I don't see
Is it
that.
top 16? I thought it was top 32. Did I
No,
just say the wrong word?
men's right. It's top 16.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
top
My
16.
apologies. Okay.
So yeah, that's the whole bit of the tournament. There is they've changed up the text submission forms a little bit in the Chrono Discord. In the announcement, there is a Google form, I believe, where you
Yep.
now submit them. It does not matter if you submit them in the Melee client. You have to do it in that form. You can submit multiple decks. They will just take the most recent one. Oh, and I forgot the most important part. The decks you submit 2 decks. You have to win with both of them in a best of 3, and the 2 decks you submit cannot share any syndicates. If you play red nor green can be in your other deck. That's
That is
Yeah.
important.
correct. Yep.
So it really encourages design diversity in the play space.
Yeah, very cool format they got going on. And then just so you're
Yeah.
aware, if you already submitted your decks on Melee GG, you don't have to do the form. But like,
Oh really?
uh, or actually, no, I recommend doing the form actually. But the ones like, say if you change your mind, right? I think Melee, they're just gonna go off the form no matter what. So just make sure you submit your decks to the form is what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
Okay. And it's currently at 123 out of 128 players. So yeah, who knows
Yeah,
how
awesome
long that'll
If you
turnout.
last.
want in, now's the time.
All right. So we can talk about decks. I don't know if you guys want me to share my screen at all, but I'm gonna pull up.
Always, man.
Okay. All right. Let me pull up the thing here, and I basically thank you for your help with this, Bill, but I pulled up a bunch of decks into the Chrono client. Not all of them necessarily meta, but I figured we might talk about some of these in our discussion. So, um, but
Yeah.
I'll open the floor here a little bit. What are some of the most powerful color pairings that you guys think will be at the tournament?
Crazy, you want to go first or want me to take it?
Yeah, so definitely. So burn is going to be on the top priority list. I'm assuming it's just so easy to use. It goes really good in a lot of matchups, and you can't really mess it up. You have one plan, and you try to execute that plan, burn their core down. You have just so many ways to just get there, right? With this deck, the only bad matchups I would say is probably bleed, and then maybe some heal decks. But like, as for control wise, like the burn deck just does so well against those decks, and into other matchups as well. I think, yeah, the only problem you're gonna have, I think, is bleed, and that's if they run like heavy like heal cards in that, right? The Sanjoines, the focus adaptations. That's where this deck really kind of struggles. I'm be shocked if I don't see bleed in the tournament. That's for sure.
Oh, definitely. We could talk for days about aggro, bleed, and burn. I think burn is one of those things that, based on everybody's experience in the other tournament going around, Fate League, they're going to look at it as a what's the word? A reading of what to expect into this tournament, and we're going to see a lot of burn. But I think the community is going to correctly anticipate that, and every deck that is going to get to day 2 is going to have a direct attempt to be able to answer burn. So I'm really curious to see how people counterplay burn, because those are going to be the decks that make it to day 2, I think.
Right, and we're kind of seeing that with the week 2 of Vanguard already. Like, the first week of Vanguard was crazy, right? It was all about burn. Now week 2, it's all about the bleed to counter that. So I'm curious to see going into week 3 what kind of decks we're going to be seeing, along with the tournament itself on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other deck. Sorry, go on, Armor Man.
Nope, just agreeing that bleed and burn, I feel like you're going to see a lot of at least one of those. Well, not you can't do both. You'll see one of those in most people's lists.
Hmm.
So the other one I want to talk about, I'm gonna split it. It's PT Sungrace and PT Silence, meaning Phase Tide Sungrace, Phase Tide Silence. And I want to talk about Phase Tide Silence if someone else wants to take Phase Tide Sungrace, because I talked with another community member the other day, and I think Phase Tide Silence is gonna be the control deck that beats other control decks in a mirror. So if we see an abundance of control, I think the Phase Tide Sungrace, Phase Tide Silence list that runs the Army of the Sun, the Disciplined Student, and the Dolly to generate extra copies is going to outvalue the Phase Tide Sungrace list that only relies on Snapback to get more than 3 copies of Supernova.
Sorry, are we
And
talking
this,
about Phase Tide Silence, or you mean Sungrace Silence?
yes, Sungrace Silence. Oh my God, I've been saying the wrong one. Yeah, Sungrace Silence, I think, is going to be the stronger of the control list. Anyone want to debate that?
It is definitely strong. It's like a combo control list, right? But
a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
You could go ahead and take the ones on this one, Armin Man.
Yeah, Bill's played this the most out of all of us for sure. But yeah, it's a deck that can, in theory, generate infinite value because the scribes just keep making you more and more spells. You bring back the scribes with solemn attendant, or you bring back the disciplined students, and at some point they're going to get way more mana than you in a turn and then kill you.
Yeah, that's correct. Especially with the amount of Nova generation you have in this deck with the disciplined students. I once generated 6 Novas with this deck. It was insane.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to point out a little secret tech that not every player might be aware of. So anyone watching this video might have a leg up against some opponents if they're playing this list. If you can stick, say, a Magmatic Tether and a Dolly on the board, so you're copying your spells, every copied spell will trigger Magmatic Tether and get you another charge of the timeline shift. But those go on the stack. And not many people realize there's a cap to how many spells can go on the stack, since Rotten Rocker got nerfed was the last time we saw that happening often. And it's either 11 or 12, I don't remember exactly. But if you can fill the stack, it eliminates your opponent's opportunity to counterspell or react to what you just put on the stack. So they won't be able to stop what you're doing to them. And I think this list is going to play to do that on purpose if it can.
Yeah, this is pretty much the only list that can, and that in one of our scrim games, I lost because I couldn't react. Yeah, no, very powerful deck. Sungrace got so many buffs with the last patch, and I think this deck, as well as probably the next one we'll talk about, really shows that off. The other big one, possibly up there with Bleed as like maybe the biggest burn counter, is PT Sungrace Heal. You don't even care about ramping, like going up to Sovals or anything like that. You just run a crap ton of heal, and will eventually burn the opponent with medics and bare knuckle.
It's not just the medic and bare knuckle though; it's also the soup lady to actually stabilize yourself and survive the burn list.
Yeah, and using your shifts wisely, like just trying to keep that 1-2 timeline going is going to be really beneficial, especially with this list. Like it's so hard for burns, especially when you got that 1-2 timeline. Like it does so much work, just the timeline itself. And if you keep that active constantly, they're going to have a hard time.
Yeah, and honestly, the biggest benefit that this deck kind of has is that it doesn't have to attack. Once it gets a couple of its units on board that it cares about, it's fine with passing the rest of the game. So it really puts it on the opponent to act first, and this deck has a lot of ways to actually keep its units alive.
Yeah, especially with Holder on 1, that puts the pressure on them to find that Des and that shift. And if they don't have it in their mulligan, they're going to be a little bit in trouble, because once that medic is leveled, then it's just
game over, dude.
Yeah. You're gonna have a hard time.
Now,
Uh,
looking at the list you're seeing right now, I've seen so many different versions. I've seen lists where they run Solvo at the top end. I've seen lists that run Supernova. I've seen lists that don't run any of those cars, like the one you're looking right here. You guys have a bet on what do you think is going to be the strongest of those options?
um, I think Soval at the top end's a little bit of I don't know. It's probably fine. I just want to say real quick that I threw all these decks together from things that were submitted to the Vanguard tournament, pretty much. So they're not necessarily the best versions. As Bill said, there's a lot of different ones out there.
Yeah, there's so many variants, right? I believe this one is BJ's variant. I like it a lot. It focuses a lot more on that bare knuckle, that star medic or Starfield medic, the bear broth. So it's more of a heal type burn deck. I'm actually growing on this one a lot. I feel like it has a lot of potential. The only thing with this one, I would probably remove the sun shocks and then maybe slot in something else in that slot. But yeah, I love this version of like burn. It's like a heal burn, but it's nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a lot of the we pretty much touched on all the Sungrace versions out there that you'll probably see. I think they're all going to be quite popular. I would find it hard to believe that there's going to be many people out there not running Sungrace in their lineup. Um,
Yeah, it's like it got 4 buffs in the last patch or something.
yeah, yeah.
And it's always been a staple.
I
We
do think though Sungrace as its toolkit isn't designed for aggro, although it can answer some of the aggro. That's my natural way to segue into do we want to talk about aggro?
I would love to talk about aggro. There's a few different forms of aggro, but they pretty much all revolve around Singularity and Splinter Gleam. This is a shifter aggro list. There's also a list out there called Lava Cookies that was made by Not Me that uses fractals. That's pretty similar to this. And there's Pogo aggro, which they all use at least like 80% of the same cards or so. So I just have this one pulled up.
Yeah. Possibly a misdirection, but Sungrace Sunburn, does that fit in aggro burn category as well? Because I think the only thing that deck has going negative for it is it takes away your opportunity to use Sungrace with a different deck.
No,
But it's
Sungrace
good.
Splinter Gleam, I wouldn't say it's aggro. I would say it's just more burn, right? It's mid-range burn. Whereas this is just straight. It's you're throwing all your units at the core, and then trying to
Yeah.
like chump them down that way. This is like the closest thing we have to aggro. It's not traditional aggro, but it is the closest thing we have in Chrono. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good, especially this list right here. You can go the Blazing Shifter route. You can go the Time War Discombobulator route. The Chrono Scans and the Desins. There's just so much like going on for this deck. So many win cons and routes you can take. The Overclock with the Blazing Shifter, with the Time Stop in the pocket. Just a lot of win cons in this deck. It's very strong.
And the Young Cyndaquil, a new card from the last patch, could really help chip away at the opponent's health to let you get them into reach of your other win cons.
Cyndaquil has been coming. It's such a good card, right? I think in my survey it was like one of the top voted cards as favorite.
Yeah, it's just it's a good generic early drop. Yeah.
Speaking of like the survey, everyone looks at, 8 mana card, 13 mana card, that's awesome. But I feel that the 2 mana and 1 mana cards are always going to be the ones that end up breaking the game. And I think Young Cyndaquil is getting close to just being too strong, but not there yet.
I don't know about that. He's just a solid card, in my opinion.
Now I have one maybe or maybe two like more meta decks put out here that I think could show up quite a bit. One is
I'm seeing Ziv Mountain.
Yeah, Ziv Mountain. Man, I lose to this deck all the time.
Yeah. It's been everywhere, hasn't it? All over the ladder, all over.
I mean, how do you deal with like 5/8/8 for 0 mana? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, exactly. And then you chrono scan it, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's how you get the 5/8/8 for 0 mana. I've had a game. I lost the game, where my opponent double Chrono scanned to drop 3 8/8s to drop 2 more 8/8s the other turn and top deck the third 8/8. So they
Yeah.
literally had 6 8/8s, and I was like, "Good on you, sir. Good on you."
Yeah, you gotta be ready for it, especially with the mountain here.
Yeah, that.
All for 6 mana, I think.
Yeah, and sometimes they just win with Ziv. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a really good deck that it just tries to summon a lot of units out early. It can be a little aggressive early on.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, actually, it can be pretty aggressive, honestly.
yeah, because you could also just use the Chrono Scan on the Advark, right, and just get really aggressive in
Yeah.
that early game, put a lot of pressure early. So like, I find myself doing that more often than I do the mountains, just getting that
Yeah.
early pressure, and they don't have an answer, you just win.
I think
Yeah,
the deck has a ton of skill expression in that exact play Crazy's talking about, where you have to identify in your matchup, is Aardvark what you're Chrono scanning, or am I saving it for Mountain?
Yeah,
And making that decision is what differentiates win percentage for players, which
exactly.
differentiates a higher win percentage for players, identifying what you need to do in each matchup.
Hmm. And I like
uh,
this variant that you're showing right here with the Rumpus and the Focus Adaptation. It's a pretty good list. I believe Game Log is. I believe this is
I
his
think I
last
took
name.
this from him. Yeah.
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 Uh,
Again, from the Vanguard Week 2 deck list submission.
yep, yep. I went through there and pulled out a bunch of lists. Now there's kind of one and a half, maybe more. There is my Arbiter control list. That's floating out there. Now that they fixed the focused adaptation bug, it's kind of back on the menu. Um, this I haven't actually played this in a little bit, but Bill, I know you have.
I'm playing a version that Minix had, and I love his version in some ways. I've made tweaks, probably made it worse, but I love his mindset of triple symbiosis as just you can, when you read your opponent's hand correctly, you just make your units go bigger than their removal can handle when they tap below or use their removal first. And just having 3 symbiosis that you can bring back with Arbiter 3 times is just a pivotal part of one version of this list, and it's the biggest thing I want to focus on because it's just something you wouldn't have seen a month ago. I think triple symbiosis is the way now, though.
It's a very
Yeah.
powerful card.
Yeah, my teammate
Yeah.
Hobbit loves this list. He created his own variant too as well. He runs Tidal Wave in the deck. He
Ooh.
likes to go a little aggressive,
Little rally.
yeah, a little aggressive during the mid game. But yeah, it's a very flexible list. It's strong. Who would have thought that this list would have been so dominant lately?
Yeah, I feel very proud to say I think I know the guy that came up with it.
And my sort of half one, you don't see it so much anymore, but there is Ziv control.
Dog water. I'm kidding.
It's a good list. It's just I think with this current state of the meta, with the burn, just the go fast type of meta we have right now, this one's just Volvo in backline.
Yeah,
But who knows? It might get picked back up.
I don't think this list really got like nerf hammered. I think enough other things rose in the meta that it just can't really compete with anymore.
Yeah, like this will probably be good into bleed. I'm assuming with like if you put more riposte in there and like just more shutdown cards for that bleed list. I think this is a list that can do that and shut down bleed.
The Muffles too.
Right.
Yeah, Muffle's pretty good
Sorry.
with all the bleed running around and the Ziv Mountain decks.
And we keep saying bleed, but if anyone's not aware of bleed, we're not talking about the effect bleed. We're talking about the bleed list getting fervor stacking up to like a 15/15 sap sapper that hits you.
Yep. And
Yeah,
that's
Hemo
not
Master, I
uncommon.
really think it needs a nerf. It's just so strong with its current buff.
All right, so we've talked about probably any other like meta decks that you see out there. Then we can maybe talk about anti-meta or offbeat things that you could also consider.
I mean, The only thing I could think
think-
of is like
yeah.
the sprouts list, maybe like that you have right there, the silent sprouts. I could see that a lot of people running that, and then the O engine one too as well. That cheese.
I
is
think those fit
pretty
in
good.
off meta though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you don't think the
yeah.
silent sprouts is like
No,
pretty good?
Ghastly
No?
Sprouts is pretty. This is
That's what I mean, yeah.
probably this is not Ghastly Rush over
Oh,
here,
no,
but
okay.
that was my
I thought it was
video the
always
other
list for a
day.
second.
No, but yeah, Ghastly Mountains or Ghastly Sprouts. Yeah, that's a pretty good deck. Probably a little more aggressive than the Ziv Mountain list, but
Yeah.
it does rely more on keeping a board.
Right.
I think the biggest problem with that list is for the first week we saw Ghastly Rush, people were like, I don't need to shoot the 0-1. And once they learned you have to shoot the 0-1 as soon as it hits the board, the deck lost a lot of steam.
Yeah, and it's more feast or famine, which those decks don't tend to do as well in this game.
Yeah, I think what we went over is pretty solid for what we are going to see in the tournament.
Okay. Perfect. Well, you mentioned O Engine. Plenty of people hate this deck. For good reason.
It's annoying, isn't it?
It's so annoying. I don't think most versions run this draw card. I did not review this list ahead of time.
Dog water card.
Yeah, but the gimmick of the
hold
deck.
on, I'm going to change that sentence. In a meta full of burn, I would never run Yosis.
This card
or Genosis.
not to get off topic, but this card has a little bit more merit in O Engine because you literally just want O Engine, so you can look at the top two cards. Oh, not O Engine, great, put them at the bottom.
Fair.
But yeah, gimmick of the deck, you just hard mulligan for your 8-drop. This says Ghastly Rush in it. Okay.
No, that's right. That's right. Trust me.
Oh, really? Okay.
That is correct.
Yeah.
But you hard mulligan for O Engine, you discard it, then revive it with Redactionist, and O Engine will get rid of the temporary on
Yeah,
itself.
the typical combo, the ideal, like the dream combo, is Redactionist, discard the O Engine on 1, Redactionist on 4, with mana to do the Built to Burn, and then mana 5, then you use the Nazic Clone, right? And then round 6, you Ghastly Rush with the the 2
and because of
flipped
yeah
O Engines, right?
2 to 3 flipped O Engines.
Right.
And that's 8, 16, 24 damage. And if they remove any of your things, you're still dealing 12 damage, maybe not elusive if they take out the Nascent Clone. And because of O Engine's enter play effect, they remove their temporary buff, so if they don't kill them with the block. So think about any deck that can correctly block and kill 2 6/6s on turn 5 or 6.
Right.
If they don't do that, your board is now 4 6/6s on
Exactly.
turn 5
That's why
or
the Ghastly
6.
Rush is so good, because it removes that temporary, puts them on your board, and now you have a bunch of O Engines just chilling with evasive.
Now, yeah.
And I've seen a lot of shenanigans I've seen versions of this list that run triple Redactionist, because you can also use Redactionist to revive any unit you want, and then you can Built to Burn a O Engine to remove the temporary from the unit you just summoned. So I've seen versions where triple Redactionist instead of Diver. It's less consistent on the combo pieces, but it's also able to do the combo multiple times. Redactionist Diver, if your opponent answers it, you kind of don't have a gameplay until you have 8 mana, and that can really slow this deck down.
Yeah, if you're against Singularity with this deck and they time stop Redactionist, like, okay, you great. You wait till turn 8 now.
Yeah, you pretty much.
Or against Sungrace, and they've been stacking up Supernova and can actually answer your O Engine in response to a Built to Burn, you're kind of up a creek without a paddle.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of variants to this one. I've seen one where they have like a Ziv, so where you can pivot to Ziv if you have to.
Yep.
Or you can pivot to O Engine. So there's so many variants for this deck.
Now, just to talk about what it does good, though, if you draw your 3 copies out of 40 of O Engine, all the bleed stacking in the world, all the sapling stacking, all the timeline shifting are completely erased. So any board-based buffs that any deck relies on, this shuts them down. The only thing it doesn't shut down, unfortunately, is burn, except for shifter burn. And I think it's going to really not be able to get around burn, is what I'm thinking is going to happen with this.
Yeah.
It's very situational for this thing.
There's no healing, but yeah, no, thank you, Bill. That's what I was trying to segue into. Is yeah, how does this deck actually? What does it do good against the meta stuff? And yeah, it resets bleed, it resets sprouts. Not that sprouts are too meta.
Specifically fervor, not just bleed stacks, but
it
fervor.
resets mountain, because it erases the
Yep.
graveyard. This deck will probably show up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I consider this like borderline meta. It's just maybe a little too inconsistent.
Too gimmicky,
I think-
right? Because it's too reliant on the combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this list. I'm not saying I invented it. I'm not saying I pioneered it. I'm saying I tried it right away when the game was brand new, and I learned very early on. If you don't draw your one of 3 copies of O Engine, you are not winning that game. And that is where I think it's not going to be a high performing tournament deck, but it will take wins off people when it draws correctly, and it will blow them out of the water, and it will be feeling good in those games. But you're relying on drawing 3 out of 40 cards and playing 6 matches. Your odds are not in your favor.
Yeah, just consistency.
The only other, and it pains me to say it a little bit because this was one of the
Don't
first
say
decks
it.
I ever played. But the only other sort of off meta deck I have in here are PT Fractals.
Oh, the cringe.
No,
The cringe.
cringe.
Uh,
Total cringe.
I
You don't even have all the cards, man.
no, this was yeah. But this deck I think got hurt so much by both the curve nerf
Yeah.
way back and then the Sungrace buffs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not only that, you got Sun Curse Conduit, going on. You got like so many shutdown cards, the mutes, just everything to shut that card down.
People are
I
running
actually-
shut. No, you go.
Okay, I actually made a variant just recently that runs cookies in this list. Chuckle took it on the ladder. It did pretty well, but I
Yeah,
don't know. It's just
alternate
not
win
there.
cons can't be bad.
You can't. Yeah, it's good.
I think you
in
also-
certain matchups, like you said.
I think you also run into the struggle of what you're fighting is doing things like what's the 2-mana spell in Splinter Gleam that damages your own unit to deal 2 to the opponent's unit and shift?
And shift.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah, 2-mana Splinter Gleam card. So cards like this are the perfect example. Bathe in Flames. Bathe in Flames is very abundant in the meta, and Fractal Phantasm only really pops off if you can get strikes out. And you don't always have to kill the Fractal to prevent the strike. You can remove your own blockers. So from anything from Mulch to Bathe in Flames to Recall to just
Yeah,
killing
Well,
the Fractal, people, the decks that are rising to the top have the answers that your opponent's Fractals are not getting to 6 wide 14/14s anymore. I played Fractals. They're getting to like 6 or 7 if they're lucky, maybe 2 or 3, unless it's a complete pop off. You draw the nuts.
Yeah, or they go through you with the overpower, and then it's just like, it's GG from there.
Because
Like, a
Fractals
Blazing
don't stick
Shifter.
on the board.
I mean, we saw it in the tournament itself, like with PK Raya. Was it PK Raya? No, it was Game Mog. Yeah, Game Mog and PK Raya, right? Where she drew the Blazing Shifter. Like Game Mog was winning, right? The moment she drew the Blazing Shifter, boom, game was over because he had no way to deal with that overpower.
Yeah. Fractals don't stay on the board after attacking. So what do you do if your opponent just does the math, takes the hits, and hits you back harder?
Yeah. It's in a bit of a rough spot right now, but yeah, there are plenty of matchups where it still is a very scary thing.
I'm
lot
going
of
to take back slightly what I said there. What you do on defense is you curb the anomalies. So your main defense is an 8-mana spell. That's your whole turn. And sometimes that's a blowout, but you need to be 3, 4, 5 Fractals wide for that to matter in most matchups. And I think a lot of decks can prevent you getting that wide.
Yeah.
We're just in a slow state right now. That's all.
That's
Or fast state with like burn and all that.
Yeah, it's one of the fastest metas Chrono has had.
Yeah.
Um, there was also the whole egg tender pit dog, like shenanigans that went on for, or it was egg tender
Yeah.
pit dog or aggro, before Squire got its nerf and rework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Any other decks you guys run
I
into
think there's
scared of?
going to be a spicy, elusive list, a few of them, that people are just not going to be able to handle. Shifter bug to blue green elusives can be a little cheeky. That might just get over the top on people where they just can't block you coming in.
Yeah, some decks I would like to see that are really good is like Rewind archetype. Like I feel like Rewind is just so good, but like, is it going to be good against these other matchups? I don't know, but like I would say Rewind has performed very well in tournaments before. I'm just sad to not see as much of it in these tournaments so far.
Yeah, it's a harder
I think
deck
it
to
definitely.
pilot, and I don't think I haven't played a ton of Rewind, but I don't think it does as well into aggro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's
I think it.
struggling right now against those type of decks.
I think it struggles that it invests too much in protecting your key units, that it doesn't invest enough in going wide early enough, where the aggro and burn matchups are just hitting you with multiple snakes and one drops that are suddenly hitting for 7.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can only answer so many times with the spells you have, and most of that's wasted on saving your unit. So
Yeah, too many resources on protecting your temple analyst, not enough on killing their board.
Yeah. There's some niche there's a few PT Singularity combo decks out there that you might run into, but they're usually really slow and people might not bring them because you only have an hour to complete a best of 3.
Yeah.
Um uh,
And I'd recommend to people, if you're doing scrims against people, set your clock timer, because I've been doing them for like 2 days straight. And I've gotten the closest I've come to an hour in 3 matches is like 45 minutes. So understanding that you can control your own play pace, not your opponent's, you might want to work with a timer to see how long matches take, so you are not surprised by it when your opponent is going to clock every turn.
yeah, well, the main problem you're gonna run into issue is with like mirror matches, right? Like mirror control matches, is that's
Yep.
when it could get lengthy. Like take 2 Sun-based Phase deck, like that's when
I
it
did have a
becomes
30-minute
problem.
match like that today.
Yeah, yeah, those are the ones that you gotta like, be careful with if you're running
Yeah.
control.
Yeah.
one other we're way over how much I thought this would be. Well, yeah,
I could have told you that.
yeah, who knew? Uh, but one other thing I don't think we touched on too much is that since people can only bring a syndicate once, you could go into the tournament, thinking like, yeah, my decks suck against aggro, but pretty much every aggro deck runs Splinter Gleam. So you're not gonna face it twice.
Twice. Yeah.
Yeah, if that's one of your only losing matchups between your two decks, then that's a sound strategy in my book.
Yeah, but don't you have to win with both decks?
You do, but
Yeah, but so does your opponent. So once they win with their aggro deck, they
Mhm.
can't play it again.
yeah. So if the other two decks, or if your two decks you have are good into most other things besides aggro, then you'll lose
Oh,
the
so
aggro.
so would it be a strategy sometimes like, hey, I know I'm gonna lose this game, so let me lose it, and then let me win the next 2 matchups against this other deck? Is
Yeah.
that
Yep.
Exactly.
that's something you can do? Okay, nice. I
Yeah.
like
I'm not going to say that you would forfeit your match, but it
No,
might be
right.
a line to bring 2 decks that can't answer aggro. It's an
Yeah.
interesting line. I'm not
It's just
recommending
good to
this.
keep in mind that like even though you lose this match, you still have a chance to beat your opponents
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the next slot. Okay, cool.
And all this ties into what Armor Man said of most aggro lists have Splinter Gleam. So you're not going to see 2 Splinter Gleam lists, is what he's saying.
Right. Yeah, that's smart.
And you could apply a similar logic to something like, I don't know, there's some silence decks that like to revive from the graveyard. You could also play fractals
Yeah.
that like to revive, but you can only run into Suncursed Conduit once.
Yeah.
So just a thing to think about. It's a risky way to do it, but it's a strategy.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I really have anything else about the tournament. Deck list submissions are available up until like 5 or 10 minutes till the tournament starts. Ash did confirm that with me today.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't wait that long, but
Yeah.
you can.
And if you
Uh,
do wait that long and you're not able to get into the tournament, I did talk to Jason. They do for the next 3 months confirmed. Like this tournament is going to be going on each and every month.
oh,
And
cool.
then he said possibly in the future after that as well. So next 3 months confirmed. If you can't make this one, there's always a chance for next month or the month after.
Yeah. And unconfirmed, but I heard a rumor that the winner gets a bounce castle sent to their house.
All right.
Oh yeah, I never even mentioned that the winner gets to like design a card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how cool is that, dude? No, let's talk about it real quick. Like, say if one of you guys were to win that tournament, what kind of card would you like to see in Chrono?
Can I go first? I have the answer.
Sure, Bill.
Oh man.
13 mana. I have two ideas. 13 mana spell that says destroy all mana crystals. You gain an extra mana crystal every round.
All right, Armament.
That's one idea I had. That's one of my ideas. I don't know what it'd be called, but that's my idea. And the second one is something where the Immortalized Forum says if you have 50 life at the start of turn and this unit's on the board, you win the game.
50 life, Bill. That's insane.
It is insane, but I would love to see alternate win cons come to the
Dude,
game.
imagine the play rate of that card. Imagine the play rate of that.
Yeah, it would be straight for YouTubers. Guess what the hell I do half the day?
The win rate would be in the negatives. It has to be. But it'd be funny. It's a good little gimmick card. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than Bandle City.
Eh. I like Bandle City. I'm sorry. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I want to give a meme answer and a control answer of just like, yeah, I'd put something in that would stall the game. But
What's
no,
more stally than destroy all mana crystals?
yeah, no, Bill already kind of took stuff like that, and I don't even remember the card from LOR, but there was a card that like grant your core toughness. But we already have Frank that does that. Basically. So no, if I were to put a card in, I would add some to some syndicate other than Sungrace. I would add just some big unit, something that closes out the game.
Something beefy.
Yeah, something beefy. Because if except for you have like Swain, Soval, and Spirit's Lament, and that's like the only big game.
Giant.
What?
Mountain Giant, 8/8. 8/8 Overwhelm's pretty big.
But it doesn't cost like 7+ mana. Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, give me something big and beefy that's more than an 8/8 beat stick.
No, I'm in the same boat because I'm known for like the unlock potential card, but like I would like to see more overpower units for sure. Just anything that could hit face hard. I always enjoyed. Just something like that, like more overpowered units, and then maybe like if we're talking like back in LOR, like just I think one of my favorite units I would like to see is like I love the whole Demacia like type of feel. So just like maybe something like that, like Garrison Garrison would have been cool, or like just that type, like with the Chrono twist of course, would be neat.
Garen was a very cool card.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
I was a Jarvan the fourth fan, a little higher than Garen, but I respect them both.
J4 was also very cool. Yeah.
I would love to see that in this game. Some unit that spends your mana if you attack with mana unspent from your hand. I think that would be a cool interaction to add. It doesn't have to be a carbon copy of Jarvan, but maybe just importing that mechanic for one unit might be worth doing.
Yeah. Well, who knows what we'll see in the future.
Set 2's around the corner, a few corners, but it's around the corner.
180 cards. It's gonna be crazy.
It's coming down the road this year is a good prediction, I can say.
Yep. Friend from out of state is on his way.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
All
Cool. Well, yeah. Thank you to a bunch for doing this. Hopefully people
Yeah,
watch
thank you,
it, get
Armored Man, for
ideas.
hosting us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll throw all your guys' links in there. Maybe someone will click them.
Yeah.
I can dig it. I can dig it. And maybe even throw in a tournament link if anyone hasn't heard about it but has somehow followed your channel. If they are in that perfect cross section of not knowing it's happening and watch your videos,
Yeah.
this is just the video for them.
Perfect. Yep. I don't have an outro. Bye.